G'day guys, and welcome to this Supercoach video. Bit of a quick one. This is my sort of top 5 pod options for 2020. I've got 3 midfielders, a backman and a forward. I've kind of gone through the options you can get this year and based off previous years and sort of how their pre-season's going and stuff like that. I've picked some options if you're looking for pods. I don't recommend a lot of pods. I had a lot last year and it kind of made me come undone. But it is definitely very handy to have a pod or two that can kind of separate your team and help you get some wins. These pods aren't particularly guys that are going to score you massive scores every week, but they're consistent enough. And they should be able to give you consistent enough scores if you were to go with them. So I'm going to start with the back line. Shannon Hearn. I'll sort of go through pros and cons of each pick, but yeah, Shannon Hearn at $562,000. He's currently in 7% of teams. What was his average last year? I should say back here, shouldn't it? 103 average last year for a backman, unreal. Played 19 games out of 22. That's definitely something to look at. I suppose a con for him is his age, but just the way he plays, sort of his role for West Coast down back. He gets a lot of it, takes a lot of kick-ins, and yeah, he's consistent enough to warrant selection. And like I said, for 7% of teams at the moment, yeah, he's definitely not a bad pick at all. Caleb Daniels, another guy who's only got 7% team selection. I think there's some guys that are looking at him this year. I can recommend him. He's not a bad pick at all. And then Tom Stewart at 8%, All Australian last year, an average of 98, and he plays all the games. He's very durable. Hasn't missed. I don't think he's missed a game in the last few years. He's young, and yeah, the way he plays his footy, he can score well. He'll be someone that I'll be looking to get in, but I think by the time I get him in, more teams might have him. But yeah, at the moment, with that percentage of teams, he's very handy. And Dane Rampy with 1% selection is definitely someone to look at. Last year, he had some great games, average of 97. But yeah, for my 5th pod, top 5 selection is Shannon Hearn for your back line. Then we come along to our mids. What do we got? Who do I have lined up? Oh, yeah, Zach Merritt. 2% of teams. Average last year of 105. Gets a lot of the ball. I think now with like Dylan Shield and Dev Smith back, he doesn't really get a tag or anything. And I think he's probably... He's had a very good preseason. He's very fit. And he has the potential to have a breakout season this year. $573,000. If you're looking for a pod option to start in your midfield, Zach Merritt is a guy that I would definitely... he's not a bad pick at all, I don't think. I genuinely think he plays most... Like, look, he played all 22 games last year. That's the other thing you're kind of looking at too, is how consistent, how many games people are playing. But yeah, Zach Merritt at 2% selection, he's a great pod to get in. Next one just above him is actually Josh Kennedy. Now, I know his age will probably come into things. But yeah, he's had a really big preseason. He gets a lot of the ball. He's probably the most underrated footballer in the last decade, I think. 106 average last year. I had him in, and in the last round he went 175. So he's got potential to go huge. And he gets a lot of the ball and he uses it well. So he's definitely... and look, he's in 0% of teams. Is that real? Oh, fuck me. 0% of teams. George Kennedy, for a pod option, he's definitely someone that I can recommend. So he's the 3rd. So yeah, Zach Merritt is my 4th option, and my top 5 pod options. And then Kennedy's 3rd. And then the 2nd pick is a forward. People are going to call me biased for sure, but it's Gary Ablett. I'm going off 1% ownership, average of 95 last year. Gets a lot of it, still plays some midfield time and kicks goals. He played 21 of the 22 games last year, and the game that he missed, he was suspended. So he would have played all 22. So you know that he's going to get up the ground. He's going to play the same role as he did last year, that high forward role, get the ball up the ground. He sets up a lot of goals, and he still plays midfield time. I just think that 1%, it's very, very tempting. Although it's hard to say definitely pick him just because he might get rested this year with some games. His age is a huge factor. But yeah, I just think for that, if you're looking particularly for pods, he is someone that I don't think a lot of people will pick. And if you have him in your team, you're going to get some really good scores out of him and some consistent scores. The con is he's going to miss some games for being rested. Not heaps. He's not going to miss like 8 games. He might only play like 17 out of the 22 or something like that. He's not going to be rested every second week. 18 maybe, but yeah. So I can definitely, as a pod, I think he's a good pick considering what other forward options we have. I mean, Toby Green at 6%, great pick. He'll play midfield time. Jack Siebel at 1%. I think he'll play more forward time, but if he got more mid time, he'd be a great pick. He's got the thing there to say he's injured though. But yeah, Ablett there for your forward line pod option. That's for I think he can be someone that would really separate your team. Even Lukey Dalhouse, 0% picked. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna recommend him. But Ablett for a forward pod option is. But yeah, again, the con is he's gonna miss games, just from being rested. And then my last number 1 pod option is a midfielder, and this is someone I'll be looking to get in if his price drops a bit. Is Adam Treloar. 8% of teams, average of 113. I started him last year, and it was the best pick of my year, for the year. Easy. He played every game. He turned up in every round except for like 5, and 3 out of 5 of those games were 90s, and then there was like 180, and then maybe I think it was like a 70. So gets a lot of the ball, uses it well now. I mean, he's always been a good ball user, but last year he really tidied it up. He kicks goals, and he just gets a truckload of it. If he was under 600k, I'd be starting him. I'm hoping that, in a few rounds, maybe before the bye, he's had a few quieter games and his price has dropped, and I'll be looking to get him in for sure. But yeah, so that's it for this video. So just to recap, the top 5 pods, the 5th is Shannon Hearn, 4th, Zach Merritt, 3rd, Josh Kennedy, 2nd, Gary Ablett, and then number 1, Adam Treloar. Again, there's pros and cons with all these picks. Although I don't really see many cons with Adam Treloar, if I'm being honest. Very likely to play every game. He's young, he's super fit, and he gets a lot of it. That's why he's my number 1 option. Kennedy is age. Ablett is age and games being rested. Shannon Hearn is age. And Merritt, the only con I can really think of is if he is to get tagged. I had him in 2018. I remember a couple of games tags got him, but that's about it for Merritt for a con, to be honest. And it's not even really that big of a con. I think he does a tag pretty decent anyway. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I've got another Supercoach league. The number is 331194. If that fills up, I've got 4 more leagues coming out after this. They'll all be done before the season starts. And once they're full, if we get enough people to fill them all, then that'll be cool. But so this league 331194. Again, I'll let you know when it's full. And we'll get another league going and try and get as many people in as we can. But thanks for watching and see you in the next time.